Hi, I'm Shaun.
I'm Joe.
I'm Jai.
And I'm Thorne.
We're Tora.
So my first question is, what are 3 words you would use to describe your sound to people who haven't heard your music before?
It's a good question. I would say chill would be one word. Eclectic would be another. And
I think we use organic. I guess it means we just make music that is from us.
So take me through the process of creating like the typical Tora song. Like, what are each of your roles? Like, what happens first? Tell me about that.
it's a bit of a mixed match. I think every song is different. Sometimes one of us will write a song and bring it to the band, or sometimes we'll write a song all together, but generally we all produce the music together. And so whoever has an idea will kind of drive the process and kind of lead the way with that idea.
But it is pretty case by case. It's a hard question to answer. Each song has its own sort of journey, I guess it takes, depending on which sort of which member brings the song to the pool and how far along that song is already produced or created.
You chose the name Tora because it means now in Greek, right?
Yeah.
So how do you feel like this represents your music?
I think it's always been the philosophy of the band to kind of evolve with time and allow for ourselves not to be restricted by a certain sound and put ourselves in a box. And so over time we've evolved and kind of tried to keep our music current with what we're into, which is why over the years it's kind of changed quite a bit. But yeah, I think that is kind of the fundamental philosophy behind the band, is for us to always be in the now and not stuck in the past with like the previous records that we've made or whatever, and yeah, just constantly be trying to innovate.
Yeah, how do you feel like your music has evolved since you say that?
I feel like it's gotten a bit more dancey over time.
Yeah, it's gotten a little more dancey. We've definitely improved a lot, like as individual producers and songwriters, since we sort of started the project. And like as you improve, of course, the sound changes, and we've brought in new influences over the years of things that we like to listen to, and that naturally comes to fruition throughout the creative process. But I think it's got a little more dancey, it's got a little bit more production heavy, but we try to maintain a sort of integral Tora songwriting style that's unique and sort of fits the feeling of what we've done in the past, but still kind of maintains a new sort of angle each time we release music.
Yeah, so you talked a little bit about influences. What are some of your influences and how do they like compare and contrast with each other?
They're so vast. I swear, it's just like constantly changes. I think there's a few that are always around, like James Blake has definitely been one that's stuck. But if I have to be honest, personally, I'm discovering new music all the time, and that influences sort of what we do as well. I'm not sure if it's the same for the other guys, it might be, but yeah, and I think that sort of like facilitates the evolution of the sound as well. It kind of like changes as our influences are changing. But yeah, I would say James Blake is one.
Yeah, I mean, there's stuff that's like part of our beginning, like influences that like inspired us to start, I think. But as Thorne said, they've changed a lot, and you know, they're always changing. And I mean, I'm into a lot of like dance music, house and techno and stuff, and we bring some of that into our songwriting. But as Thorne also mentioned, it's incredibly eclectic.
And I mean,
tastes.
sometimes you'll just look at an artist and be inspired by like a specific thing they do. Like Bonobo, for example, is probably another influence that's sort of stuck with us. I would say we probably don't listen to him that much, but the way that he makes his music and like just the sounds he gets and the way he does things is definitely something like we all still carry and hold with us.
Yeah.
I guess like from the beginning, for me, John Mayer was like a very big influence. Like his guitar playing, I think sometimes has definitely shined through in just like the kind of scales that I like to play, or the sort of tones I like to play around with. So for me, that's had a big impact on me. But I think like Red Hot Chili Peppers even get through there somehow. Like
I think the really early days.
Yeah, like
I think the songwriting, when you said John Mayer, this latest album, which is weird because I feel like we haven't really been listening to John Mayer so much, really, but I think the songwriting has started going in that direction in the sense of like how descriptive and how vast the lyrical and sort of songwriting elements go into our music. So
I've noticed that the music you've been releasing from your upcoming album, like, it's still very experimental, but I feel like it focuses a little bit more on melodies. Is that like a conscious choice, or?
I wouldn't say it's a conscious choice. I think it's just a product of us maybe improving as songwriters, and production's still a big part of the sound, but I think the the songwriting and the melodic stuff has definitely come out a lot in the new record, because like myself, I've personally been focusing quite a lot on, like, when I start a song, I'll sit down on one instrument and kind of really refine the melody and the lyrics before I go and then like produce it and get too carried away with like all the sounds. So for me, that's definitely had an impact on my own songwriting, and I think like it's definitely been kind of spilling across the whole sound, is that like more like songwriting focus on the music.
So now I'm gonna do like a little speed round where you guys should answer the question in like a brief phrase or whatever, but they're gonna be a little more fun questions.
Okay.
We can just go down the line.
Okay.
Favorite city you've been to on tour?
Or Luxembourg.
Berlin.
Amsterdam.
Lausanne.
One thing that inspires you that's not music?
Visual design and art, I would say.
Traveling.
I'm not very good at thinking about this. I would,
Relationship, surely.
yeah, I think my relationship definitely like gives me a lot of inspiration for my music.
Surfing.
Funniest member of the band?
Oh. Everyone has their moments.
I don't know.
Probably Joe, because Joe is just crazy.
I probably would agree with that.
Well, I don't know. That was pretty funny. He made us laugh just then, so.
Yeah, well, we all have moments, I think.
Yeah, I think we all make each other laugh every day.
Take turns cheering each other up.
Favorite thing to do in Byron Bay?
Relax.
Skateboard.
Chill on the beach.
Yeah, I would probably say that. On the beach, surfing.
The person you'd recruit to be the fifth member of the band? Could be anyone.
Or James Blake?
I don't know.
Donald Trump.
No. I don't know.
Dave Grohl.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
I reckon, oh man, it'd be pretty sick to have like some crazy.
What about Jordan Mackay or something? That'd be pretty dope.
Someone
Alrighty.
on like some crazy like instrument that we don't have. would
Or
be
like a
pretty sick.
sitar player or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Favorite song from the new album?
That changes all the time for me. But I think right now I'm really vibing Similar, which hasn't actually been released yet.
I would say Ice Bucket. That hasn't been released yet.
Yeah,
That's
I think
one of my
I'll
faves.
second that as well.
Probably Mother Forgot.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you guys so much.
Thank
I
you
appreciate
very much.
it.
Thank you for having